In our last episode, we went inside the vessel to have a conversation with High Confessor Tectus. He told us a bit more about the children of Adam, and then had us do a little job for him. We had to find evidence that another child, Sister Aubert, was less than faithful. When finished, we exited the vessel, and at last we can explore this Nucleus. As Dima told us, the Nucleus is a pre-war submarine base, and the vessel is the submarine that's still inside. Near to the tail, we see that the children have created a bit of a shrine. Glowing skulls and candles, a motif that we'll see time and time again in the Nucleus. The submarine is suspended over a pool of glowing irradiated water. This bay would have been filled with water before the war, but the doors have remained closed over the past 200 years, and the water at the bottom has mostly evaporated, leaving all the toxic radioactive waste behind. Moving across the bridge back to the platform, we can move south from the entrance, and here we find a child kneeling down, praying to and pleading with Adam.
Holy Adam, your faithful awaits. Oh, please. Oh, keep the faith. Must continue. I know that you can hear me. Please, deliver me from this. Oh, yes, I know he will come. He will be with me, and it will all be for the good and the glory. From these shackles, I beg release.
Hi there.
Where? Please, leave me Oh, sorry. Adam above, I await your word. For Adam, I will not falter.
Devin.
Sorry. Am I in the way?
This is Brother Devin, and he's so preoccupied with his prayer that he barely notices us. He won't respond when we talk to him. Well, we'll just leave him here for now. Continuing south, we find a small shack with a child of Adam guard inside. Here we find some scrap in a toolbox and 2 fusion cores lying next to a pile of gas canisters. South and out of the shack, we find the town that the children have built inside their Nucleus. It spans multiple levels and is built from wood and metal scrap. We'll take this layer by layer. Starting at the bottom, we see that the concrete room that made up part of the base has been boarded up. Moving west alongside it, we find a man in a full suit of Children of Adam marine combat armor standing at the ready. This is Zealot Ware.
Excuse me.
Yeah? I mean, glory to Wait, you're the new convert. You happen to see Brother Devin, the sickly guy praying off by himself?
I think so. Is he the one with the propellers and the periscope? I mean, he's kind of hard to miss.
No, he'd be the skeletal one with all his hair falling out.
Who?
Brother Devin, the skinny guy near the entrance to the bay. Starting to look like a ghoul with hair. You can't miss him.
Must have missed him.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot easier to miss than he used to be.
Sure, I saw Devin. Why do you ask?
See, Brother Devin, he's been on a fast. A long one. No food. Only irradiated water. Waiting for a sign from Adam. Most folks would say that's real admirable. Giving yourself to Adam like that. What do you think?
Why? What do you think?
I've got my opinions. Right now, I'm interested in yours. What do you think about this fast?
Brother Devin's actions are very admirable. Truly proving his devotion.
I mean, no one's saying the kid's not tough, sure, but...
I mean, it's his choice, right? Who are we to stop him?
That's easy to say, but...
Sounds nuts to me.
Adam above. Someone else. Look, me and Devin, we weren't born with Adam's blessing like everyone else around here. Rads, they hurt us. Now Devin thinks fasting and refusing meds till he dies is gonna get Adam to grant him some kind of revelation or something. I've tried talking to him, but he won't listen to me anymore, and everyone else in this place thinks what he's doing is a brilliant idea. I know we don't know each other, but if you could convince him to quit, I'd owe you. Could give you some anti-rad meds I've cooked up. Recipe, too. Damn handy for folks like us. What do you say? Talk to him for me?
Anti-rad meds? Are those allowed?
No one's gonna bother you about scouring off the globe, if that's your concern. They understand we weren't all born with his blessing. But my brew will clear away some rads and give you a little kick of energy. Anytime I make a batch, you're welcome to some. Give you the recipe to boot. So you think you'd be willing to talk to Brother Devin about this fast of his?
Devin should be encouraged to show his devotion. Something you might emulate.
Oh, sure. I suppose I was letting my passions get the best of me. Glory to Adam.
Sorry, not my problem.
Fine, whatever. Glory to Adam.
Okay, sure. I'll talk to him.
Oh, thank you. Please, just do it quick, all right? He's starting to look bad.
With that, we begin the quest, The Trial of Brother Devin. And man, first Sister Aubert and now Zealot Ware? 2 of the 4 children we've actually had a conversation with upon arriving at the Nucleus don't seem to be quite as, fanatical as the people of Far Harbor had led us to believe. They almost seem kinda normal. Well, turning around, we can head back to Brother Devin to see if we can convince him to end his fast.
Hi there.
Holy Adam, from this spot, is that you? Oh, holy, I'm sorry, sister. I thought you were... Never mind. Did you need something?
Nothing. Sorry to bother you.
Go. Go with Adam.
Zealot Ware asked me to speak to you. He's worried you're killing yourself. You need to stop.
Getting others to do his dirty work now, is he? You can tell him I appreciate the concern, but I must stay.
Have you just been sitting here? I think you need a new hobby.
I suppose I look a mess at this point, but I can't leave.
You seem like you're expecting someone.
I am. Adam came to me, and I will follow his command.
And if Adam told you to jump off a cliff, would you?
I see what you're trying to do, but it's not going to work. For I have seen his messenger with my own eyes.
You don't have to do anything. Adam's not real.
I'd mind your tongue. Such blasphemy will get you in trouble. And I assure you, Adam is real. For I have seen his messenger with my own eyes.
Adam came to you. What'd you see?
My saving grace.
And what exactly did Adam command?
That I need only wait for my saving grace. Jet has been my crutch for many years. One day, I was in the woods, polluting myself, when a figure strode from the sky before me. A verdant stag, wreathed in holy glow. It commanded me to return to the Nucleus, and to leave behind my iniquities, and give myself fully to Adam. For my dedication, Adam would send another messenger, who would free me from my shackles once and for all. That, sister, is why I must wait.
How do you know your vision of Adam's messenger wasn't just a hallucination brought on by the drugs?
What if it was? Holy Adam spoke to me, promised to free me from my weakness. He gave me a task, and I will obey.
Uh-huh. And when was the last time you used drugs?
The day of my vision. Haven't moved from this spot since.
So, if you haven't used drugs since then, what makes you think you haven't already kicked the habit yourself?
Because I am weak. But Adam is strong. When his messenger appears, I will finally know that I have done what I must to be free.
Sitting here endlessly it's suicide.
You may be right. But stopping now, going back to my old ways, that too would be suicide. Here, I have a chance.
This Devin is stubborn. When all our arguments fail, we find one that can work, but we have to pass a very difficult speech check. If we fail...
I have good news. I am Adam's messenger, and I have come to free you from your shackles. There. Now, let's just keep this between us, okay?
That's not funny. Now please, if you don't have anything else.
But if we succeed...
You're the messenger? The The shackles are gone? They are, aren't they? Oh, thank you. Thank you, your brilliance. And don't fear, messenger. I will keep your secret. Oh, Adam above, thank you. I can't believe it. His messenger.
With that, Brother Devin runs off back to his little shack, and we can report our success to Zealot Ware. But if we can't pass that very difficult speech check, we have no other option than to bid Devin farewell.
I guess I'll just talk to you later, brother.
Glory to Adam.
After this appalling failure, we can return to Zealot Ware to see if maybe together we can come up with a better idea to convince Devin to end his fast.
I spoke to Brother Devin. He's not giving up the fast. Says he's waiting for a messenger from Adam.
Damn. Well, thanks for... Wait, a messenger? That's what he's expecting? So, what if we give him a messenger? You're the one who saw the mother of the fog, right? What's she look like? They say she's faceless, dressed in tatters and all glowy.
Sure. That's close enough.
Okay, so here's the idea.
You're way off. The Mother of the Fog has wheels, chrome hubcaps too. Sport package.
Sure she does. But even if that were true, Devin doesn't know it. So?
Oh, she was more than that. She was the living shadow, oozing fog. Ugh.
Yeah, but Devin doesn't know that.
What are you suggesting?
Just hear me out. What if we make you look like what everyone thinks Adam's messengers look like? No face, the rags, the irradiated glow. Then you can go and talk him out of it. What do you say?
Impersonating a messenger of Adam? That sounds like blasphemy.
What other choice do we have? Just let him die? Adam, in all his mercy, could intervene at any time. And he hasn't. He's left it to us. And now I'm asking you to help. So, please, will you do this for me?
Why can't you do it?
Trust me. If I thought he wouldn't recognize me nagging him yet again, I would. But he's never met you in his right state of mind. If you do the outfit right, I'm betting he won't be able to tell you from, well, Adam.
I'm not doing it, Ware.
All right. But maybe, well, just think about it, okay?
All right, I'm in. So how do we do this?
The rags are the easy part. You can have my extra set. I washed them, I think at least once. And I've got an old sack hood you can use. Should make the faceless thing work. The painful part's gonna be the rads. You're going to have to get yourself really irradiated. Might be worth paying another visit to the spring. And once you've got that together, talk to Devin. In his state, well, let's just hope he buys it.
With that, Zealot Ware gives us a sack hood and the Child of Adam long rags. Neither the sack hood nor the Child of Adam long rags are new to Far Harbor. The sack hood could drop off of any raider in the Commonwealth, and the long rags were used by children of Adam in the Commonwealth. And most of the Child of Adam outfits have the same statistics: 0 damage and energy resistance, 25 radiation resistance, and +2 to endurance. None of them can be worn under armor, but all of them do accept ballistic weave. Now that we're properly dressed, we've got to get irradiated. We can do this any way we want. The spring Ware recommended is a pretty long walk. It's faster just to get irradiated here in the Nucleus. We can use the opportunity to go downstairs and explore the shallow toxic water beneath the submarine. However, it's actually faster to get irradiated by hopping onto the submarine and standing atop one of the missile hatches, which absolutely exudes high levels of radiation. This still has the nuclear payload. But exploring this ground level beneath the submarine, we again find evidence of that pre-war containment breach. We see barrels of toxic waste tucked into every corner and scattered around the ground. Moving northeast, we find a pile of human skeletons, all of which are wearing pre-war clothing. This gives us the impression that these are the men and women who worked here in the submarine base, who either died during the containment breach or when the bombs dropped in 2077. Perhaps Dima or the children of Adam cleaned up the place a bit after they moved into the Nucleus by tossing the skeletons here into this pit. There's another pile just north of here, and even more on the other side of the murky water. When we've become so irradiated that we're practically glowing, we get a notification, and we can return to Zealot Ware.
Zealot Ware?
Wow. You really look the part. Adam's messenger. I think it's time you spoke with Devin.
Now we convincingly look like Adam's messenger. Heading back to Devin, we find him exactly where we left him.
Greetings, child.
Please, just leave me. That glow. Who are you?
It's me, Santa Claus. Have you been a good boy this year?
What? Is this some kind of test? Please, tell me who you are.
What? What? Brother Devin, do you not recognize me?
I'm sorry, Radiant One. You're Adam's messenger, aren't you? You finally came.
You have incurred Atom's wrath, Brother Devin. And here I am.
His wrath? I'm so sorry, Your Radiance. I did not mean to offend. I've waited patiently for your arrival as he commanded. Please, I beg of you, release me from my weakness. Set me free.
I am Atom's messenger, and I have been sent by him.
Oh, at last. I've done as Adam commanded. I have waited here diligently for your arrival, for you to finally release me from my bondage. Please, grant me Adam's strength and set me free.
And if I grant you your freedom, do you swear you will never again pollute yourself with those foul substances?
Oh, yes, I swear to you, I will never do something so foolish again. Please, messenger, release me from this agony.
Atom demands a tribute! You got any caps?
A tribute? Yes, I've got a few. Here. So does this mean you'll set me free?
Your trial has come to an end, Brother Devin! You are free!
You're right. I can feel Adam's strength. Oh, thank you so much. Glory to Adam, I'm free!
Of course, child. Your devotion is to be admired. You've made Atom proud this day. Just never do it again.
I won't. Oh, thank you so much. Glory to Adam. I can't believe it. His messenger.
And Brother Devin runs off happy as a clam. Or happy as a gadfly? Happy as something that's happy. Heading back to Zealot Ware.
Zealot Ware?
You did it. Adam above, you did it. Here, anytime I brew a new batch, you can have some. And if there's anything else I can do for you, you let me know.
With that, we complete the quest, The Trial of Brother Devin. Zealot Ware gives us 4 bottles of Ware's Brew and the recipe. Taking a look at the recipe in our Pip-Boy, Ware's Brew. 3 parts tree sap, boil until distilled. Drink until you feel better. Huh. Who knew the sap produced by the trees on the island would cure radiation? Ware's Brew just appears like a bottle of sludge or tree sap in our inventory, only it's got a piece of paper taped onto it that says Ware Brew. Now that we have the recipe, we can craft it at any cooking station by going to the beverages section. We find it under purified water, and it only costs 3 raw sap. Ware's Brew is a very useful consumable. It not only removes 100 radiation damage, that's a third of Radaway, which removes 300 radiation damage, but it also heals us for 100 hit points, which Radaway does not do. Additionally, Radaway adds fatigue on survival mode for Fallout 4, but Ware's Brew does not. The only problem is that it does weigh half a pound. That's 5 times more what 1 piece of Radaway weighs. We've already explored a few locations where we can find raw sap on the island. The old pond house is a good location. The woods just outside the Nucleus is another great location. But perhaps the best location to harvest raw sap is Brooks Head Lighthouse. No fewer than 13 buckets of the stuff can be found hanging from the trees around the lighthouse. After completing the quest, we can come back to Zealot Ware every couple of days or so to get more free bottles.
Got any more of your brew?
Fresh out at the moment. Stop by in a couple of days. Now you need something else?
You mentioned before you're affected by radiation. Why would you choose to live in a place like this?
Sure beats where I came from. Before joining the family, I was a trapper. Lived with a nasty bunch out in the fog. Barely scraping by. Kind of place you slept with a knife under your pillow to make sure no one stole your food. But one day, out hunting, we stumbled upon High Confessor Tectus and his crew on their way to a pilgrimage. We surrounded them, took them captive. Figured we could ransom them back for some grub and ammo. I pulled guard duty, and me and the High Confessor get to talking. You can probably figure out what happened next.
You turned on the trappers?
Mm-hmm. The High Confessor started describing the life I could have at the Nucleus with Adam. 3 meals a day. Not having to worry about getting eaten in my sleep. Radiation wasn't even that much worse. Plus, I had my brew to handle that. Ended up being a pretty easy decision. I helped the children clean out the trappers and started my new life here. So, something else I can do for you?
Why do you care so much about Devin?
I mean, he's a good kid. Sure, he likes his jet a little too much, but it's not like he was out raiding. He just needed a hand. Lucky for us both, you showed up. Huh. Kinda makes you wonder if Adam didn't have a part in this after all. So, was there something else?
Didn't need anything at the moment.
All right, then. Take care of yourself.
Huh. The story of these children of Adam is becoming a bit more complex. Zealot Ware has compassion for Brother Devin. He cares about him. And when he was forced to choose between blasphemy or saving Brother Devin's life, he chose to embrace blasphemy in order to save Brother Devin's life. I wonder exactly how many children of Adam here, like Brother Ware, are here just because they want 3 square meals a day, a roof over their heads, and a community where they belong. Moving west, we find a staircase going up to another level, the staircase we used to go below the submarine, and a walkway to the north leading up to another level. But we also passed that staircase on the eastern side that went up to level 2. Let's retrace our steps and go there so that we know exactly where we're at. On level 2, we see a number of little shacks. Looks like these hallways form a big loop. We'll explore the loop counterclockwise, starting with this shop here. A shop run by Sister Mai.
Excuse me.
Was wondering when I'd get to meet our newest member. I'm Sister Mai, and rumor has it, you're the one who caught the attention of the Mother of the Fog. You happen to catch the Grand Zealot's, loyalty test too?
Loyalty test?
Yeah. We saw Richter leading those 2 outside. Only one came back right around the time you showed. Figured you were probably witness to the whole thing.
Nope, must have missed it.
That might be for the best.
I'm just here to shop.
Of course. Just...
Yeah, I saw it.
Look, it's a lesson worth learning now. Trust is a big deal in this family. Our members need to know how to steer clear of trouble. Just stay on the High Confessor's good side and you'll be all right. Now, there's something I can show you? And, not sure if the glow bothers you, but I can help with scouring, too.
You mentioned scouring? What's that?
Oh, right. Well, most of us here, the glow doesn't harm us. But Adam's picky about sharing his blessing. We keep some anti-rad meds on hand for those in need. Most folks around here, High Confessor included, consider it kind of a penitence. Scour oneself and embrace the glow anew. So, did you want to peruse the goods?
Was wondering if there was anything you needed help with.
Well, there is a project I'm kind of stuck on. I assume you saw the old rad decontamination arches on the way in. I've been trying to fix them for a while now, but I hit a snag. I need a pump regulator with some serious chemical shielding, industrial grade. And if any place on this island is going to have one, it's the Vim Pop factory. The place is swarming with mutants. But if you're up for it, I can make it worth your while. You interested?
Why fix the decontamination arches? Don't they get rid of radiation?
Not the way I rigged them. I bypassed the filters, so once we get the regulator in place, we'll have a clean way to get a big dose of glow. So, you game to recover it for me?
What kind of reward are we talking here?
For you risking life and limb for my pet project? I've got an old radium rifle I've been tinkering with. You bring the regulator back, it's yours.
Much fun as it sounds, no thanks.
Don't sweat it. Not like I'm rushing out to do it myself.
Alright, I'll track down the pump regulator for you.
You will? Fantastic. I figure it'll probably be somewhere near the mixing room. Just watch yourself out there, alright? So can I show you something?
With that, we begin the quest Ablutions. Recover the pump regulator from the Vim Pop factory. First, we can see what Sister Mai has for sale.
Let's see what you got.
Probably have something you can use.
Sister Mai has over 700 caps to barter with, and a whole lot of wonderful ammunition. She sells a small collection of weapons, a full wardrobe of every type of Child of Adam clothing, the short and long brown and green rags, as well as the simple rags, and one legendary item, the Recon Marine right arm. Yes! One more piece to our Recon Marine armor set. The right arm provides 24 damage and energy resistance, 10 radiation resistance, and it weighs 14 pounds. But this one is special in that it has a legendary effect that increases the wearer's movement speed by 10%. But it, like the other Recon Marine armor, is very expensive. Though if we snag it, we now have 3 pieces to the Recon set. We're almost there. Now, the quest Ablutions that Sister Mai just gave us sends us to the Vim Pop factory. Now, we need to explore the Vim Pop factory a bit later in the plot for a much more important reason. So I'm gonna save my video exploring the Vim Pop factory's every nook and cranny for a bit later. But to complete this quest, we find the pump regulator right where Sister Mai told us it would be, in the mixing room. We find an observation room on the western side of the mixing room overlooking the vats. And here on a desk, next to an ammo canister, we find the pump regulator. With the pump regulator in hand, we can return to Sister Mai.
Mai.
You're back. Thanks again for being game to track down that pump regulator. Now, care to check the stock?
Finally got that regulator from the Vim Pop factory.
You did? Oh, fantastic. So that regulator should slot right into the apparatus downstairs. My bypass to the filters should take care of the rest. Unless I mess something up. Those arches should start spraying all the irradiated water the children could ask for. I was thinking, since you did all the heavy lifting, you ought to be the one to christen the old girl. Plug in the final piece? You willing to do the honors?
So all you did was bypass the decontamination filters?
Well, if you want to oversimplify the heck out of it, yeah. Pretty much. I had to hook up a little rig to support my fix, but so long as that keeps working, it should keep the rads coming. So, you willing to finish the job?
Could the bypass be reversed?
Sure, theoretically, if my rigging failed, which is possible. There are going to be some wet, unhappy children of Adam, though, if that happens. But we're not going to know either way until that regulator's in place. Now, how about you take care of that missing piece?
I risked a lot getting this thing for you. I think I've earned some caps.
Suppose that's fair. I can swing, say, 150.
Trust me, if you'd seen this place, you'd know that's not enough. Mutants, floor to ceiling.
Wow, really? Okay, sure. 250.
I'm not sure you're grasping what I went through here. Have I described the smell to you yet?
All right, 350. But that's as high as I can go.
Maybe some other time.
Sure. Pumps down in the bay whenever you get to it.
Sure, I can take care of that.
Great. Pumps down in the bay. Shouldn't give you any trouble. And here, for what you've done.
Our reward is Radical Conversion, a legendary Radium Rifle. Ignores 30% of the target's damage and energy resistance. And at last we can talk a bit about the Radium Rifle, another brand new weapon that comes with Far Harbor. It's a 45 caliber carbine that has a completely new model and texture. The children appear to have taken the same technology that they used to create the Gamma gun and attached it to this carbine. I suppose we can presume they found a cache of these carbines inside the Nucleus, which they then retrofitted. Before perks and stats are considered, the Radium Rifle deals 27 ballistic damage and 50 radiation damage per shot. This makes the Radium Rifle a weapon that's useful in certain circumstances. It's not going to be useful against enemies that are immune or resistant to radiation, like super mutants and ghouls, and many of the monsters we find here on the island. That makes the unique feature of this weapon, the radiation damage, essentially useless against half of the enemies we can encounter. However, against enemies that are susceptible to radiation damage, like humans, this thing is devastating. Particularly against legendary enemies. The radiation damage diminishes their max HP, reducing the amount of life that they can regenerate. It has a wide range of weapon modifications, but all of them are identical to those found with the combat rifle. The major difference is that since it has all of these scientific components attached to it, it requires higher levels of the gun nut and science perks in order to modify it. Additionally, since it deals radiation damage, this weapon benefits from the nuclear physicist perk. It's a flexible weapon that can be used as a long-range sniper rifle or even as an automatic weapon. And the legendary effect on radical conversion is pretty great. Ignoring 30% of ballistic or energy damage resistance can even make it useful against enemies that are immune or resistant to radiation damage. We've got the reward, but we haven't finished the quest yet. We now have to install the pump regulator. Sister Mai told us that we needed to install it in some machinery down in the bay. So taking the staircase all the way down beneath the submarine, we find the machinery against the wall to the northeast, right next to that first pile of human skeletons we found. When ready, we can install the pump regulator. You see the spot where the pump regulator should fit, allowing irradiated water to be fed directly into the system. You also notice Mai's bypass to the filters. A skilled technician could reverse it and hide the fix, restoring the old system, allowing it to cleanse radiation. We can do nothing, install the pump regulator, or pass a 7 intelligence check to reverse Mai's bypass, fixing the decontamination system. If we simply install the pump regulator, we easily snap the pump regulator into place. The machinery immediately begins feeding irradiated water into the system. We hear the system engage. All we have to do now is head upstairs to test the system. Moving towards the entrance underneath those 2 archways, we can push the big red button. And with that, we complete the quest ablutions. We fix the system, but we now douse ourselves and every child who passes through these archways with a huge dose of radiation. I feel sorry for Zealot Ware and Devin. However, if we install it correctly, and we talk to Sister Mai...
Mai.
Well, the Decon Whisperer. Thanks again for taking care of that.
Or we can pass the 7 intelligence check to reverse Mai's bypass and fix the decontamination system. We easily install the pump regulator. With that in place, we reverse Mai's bypass and install our own deep within the machine, preventing anyone from realizing it might have been tampered with. We again hear the system come to life. And this time when we go and push the big red button, we again complete the quest ablutions, but this time, the decontamination arches actually decontaminate and cure us of all radiation sickness. If we fix the system so it does not dose people with rads, Mai notices this.
Sister Mai.
Hey, thanks again for your work on the decon system, even if it does refuse to spit rads. Save folks some scouring, I guess. So you need supplies?
Decontamination arches are fixed up and ready to go.
That's great! I'll send word around. Thanks. Now, did you need to stock up?
After stocking up on ammunition, we can continue to explore the Nucleus. Next to her, we see a pathway between these 2 shacks. Here we find a couple of chairs and a skeleton, hugging some skulls and candles. Continuing west, we find another shop, this one manned by the Archimist, Anna.
Hi there.
Ah, the latest addition to our little family. Welcome, child. If you are in need of aid, you've come to the right place.
You don't sound so great. You all right?
Old wounds. Reminders of a wicked life.
What sort of wicked life?
I was a doctor in Far Harbor. I fell for a pious man. A man who has since abandoned us. We were chased from town by those upset with our union. I must have angered Adam as well, as he afflicted me with this.
Actually, I need some supplies for the road.
I may have what you're looking for.
Anna the Archimist doesn't ever tell us exactly what it is that Adam afflicted her with, though the surgical mask she wears gives us the impression that she suffers from some sort of facial deformity. Most of Anna's story was cut from the game for unknown reasons. From that cut content, we learned that the pious man, her lover, whom she left Far Harbor with during the children's exile to the Nucleus, abandoned the children of Adam after Anna became sick during that exodus. Anna arrived at the Nucleus on a stretcher and barely remembers the trip. Then, after High Confessor Martin left the children, this unnamed pious man, who presumably still lived at Far Harbor, began to write her a letter which he never finished, telling her that he was still there for her. We also learned that even though she abandoned Far Harbor to serve Adam, she doesn't really want them all to be destroyed, and she would become sad if anything happened to them. Moving on. Oh, we find Zealot Thiel here, perusing the shop inventory, and we can have a chat.
Pardon me.
Glory to Adam, sister. You must be the one Richter sent out to the spring. Don't appear you turned into a slobbering goon. So I'm guessing you had a favorable experience. What visions did Holy Adam bless you with?
Slobbering goon. Do people have bad reactions to the spring?
Few make it through the ritual intact. Sort of the point. A vision from Adam is a great honor, not something to be granted to the unworthy. So tell me, what did you see?
So the spring is supposed to hurt people?
The spring shows who's capable of serving Adam and who is not. Clearly Adam saw your strength and blessed you with a vision of...
He came to me and told me the secret to overcoming all life's challenges. And for a mere 500 caps, that secret can be yours too.
I believe I'll pass.
A woman. She guided me to a small shrine. The Grand Zealot said she was called the Mother of the Fog.
What? You saw the Mother of the... How did... I guess it's not our place to question the ways of Adam. If there is anything I or the other Zealots can do to serve, all you need to do is ask.
So you're a Zealot. What is that exactly?
We are defenders of Adam's faith, and guardians of the Nucleus. Most were mercenaries or trappers before they finally came to Adam. Though Richter, apparently, was actually a soldier of some rank in his old life. If the rumors are true.
Adam ever grant you any visions?
Sort of. My parents were settlers. Tried to carve out a life for us in the fog. Moved us all out there when I was just a girl. Made do for a couple years. Adam's Veil hadn't claimed the whole of the island back then. But then came this storm. A rad storm. Unlike anything the island had ever seen. Our little homestead didn't stand a chance. I was the only one to survive, thanks to my blessing. Adam's blessing. I wandered for days, living off whatever I could scrounge, drinking puddles and salt water, until I stumbled on a spring. The spring. The vision I had. It felt like it lasted for days. I was back in the storm, but I wasn't afraid. I was in control. When I finally came to, I was in Richter's arms. He carried me back here and raised me to serve Adam.
What are your duties here?
I am the Grand Zealot Second. It is my job to ensure the Zealots are fit for the conflict to come, against all those who offend Adam.
Nothing for now.
Remain vigilant, sister.
Looks like Thiel here is a true believer. She clearly takes a lot of pride in being a child of Adam, and she appears to be jealous that the sole survivor saw the mother, and Thiel never has. This must be the person Richter was talking about, who had been waiting all of her life for such an encounter. I get the impression that Richter saved her from the fog as a young girl, and has almost become a bit of a father figure to her. Thiel walks off to the south. We see a boardwalk going to the north, towards more shacks, but before we explore that wing, we can continue with this loop. Moving south, we see that staircase going down against the western wall that we saw from the first floor, and we see another staircase going up But to finish exploring this loop, we can go behind the shacks. In the Alchemist's shop, we find some mentats on a table by her bed, one of which was orange mentats and a stim pack. There is a chemistry station here that we can use, with a stim pack on top and some chems in a chem cooler. And beneath her shop table, we find an unlocked safe that we can freely loot. All right, well, these children sure aren't greedy. Thank you, Anna. Moving out and going around, we see that little hallway with the skeleton we saw earlier. Zealot Thiel has her own little private shrine beneath this staircase. And continuing east, we can go into Mai's shop. We find a duffel bag with pre-war money at the foot of her bed. Not sure what she needs that for. We can loot ammo and caps from a couple of containers, an ammo box at the very bottom of a shelf, and a big stack of 5 pieces of dirty water at the top of the shelf, useful for crafting. Sister Mai also has an unlocked box safe beneath her desk with some radaway on top. We can loot everything inside, as well as a couple of cans of purified water on the ground next to her safe. Continuing all the way around, we find a guard at the completion of this loop, and against the southern wall, an armor workbench. Now we can take the staircase up to the next level. Up here, we immediately find a weapons workbench. We see a ramp leading to another staircase that goes up even further and then goes back down to the level we just explored. Back into the shack, if we turn west, we find a bedroom. There's an explosives box next to the weapon workbench and a footlocker at the foot of the bed. After looting a tool case on a countertop with a Children of Adam shrine, we can move around to what appears to be another shop. After looting a footlocker, we can talk to the proprietor, Brother Kane.
Pardon me.
Wait, you're the one they're saying saw the mother. Good omen. You looking for weapons, ammo, plenty of gamma rounds?
Folks here seem pretty heavily armed for a religious organization.
Island's a dangerous place. Heretics, trappers, beasts of the fog. Adam may have granted us this kingdom, but he left it to us to preserve it. Now, can I show you something?
I'll take a look, sure.
Balanced the sights myself.
Citizen Kane here is a weapons merchant. He sells the Kiloton Radium Rifle. This is another legendary radium rifle with the explosive legendary effect. Bullets explode on impact, doing 15 points of area effect damage. This is a wonderful alternative to Spray and Pray, sold by Cricket. Like Spray and Pray, the Kiloton Radium Rifle benefits from the Demolition Expert perk. That, coupled with the radiation damage inherent with this weapon that benefits from the Nuclear Physicist perk, makes the Kiloton Radium Rifle just a devastating weapon. Like all radium rifles, it's situational, but there's no creature immune to explosives damage, so you can really tear things apart with it.
Can't be bothering anybody now.
Brother Kane also sells the Recon Marine left arm. It has the same stats as the right arm, but it has a completely different legendary effect. It temporarily slows time during combat when you're at 20% or less health. We now have a legendary helmet, chest piece, and 2 arm pieces. What this suit is missing is the legs. And sadly, there are no Recon Marine legs in all of Far Harbor. This is it. We've completed the full set. Now, we could flesh out the set with some of the Zealot Marine armor that Kane sells here, but we'll actually find some pre-war Marine armor legs a bit later on that are a better option. They sadly just don't come with any legendary effects. The Children of Adam Marine armor is worse than the Recon and pre-war Marine armor that we find elsewhere on the island, and there's a lore reason for that. Remember, the Children of Adam had nothing when they were exiled from Far Harbor. They arrive here at the Nucleus, Dima lets them in, and here they find a stash of pre-war carbines and a cache of pre-war Marine armor that's been sitting around an abandoned submarine base where there was a containment breach. So for the past 200 years, the Marine armor here has been deteriorating, which is why the Zealot armor that we can buy from the merchants here is significantly weaker than the Recon armor we've bought from other merchants. A full suit of Zealot Marine armor only grants 108 ballistic and energy damage resistance, with 0 radiation resistance. These numbers are without the helmet, for there is no Zealot's Marine armor helmet. it also looks different. Each piece is scrawled with Children of Adam graffiti, instead of looking nice and clean and dark like the Recon armor we have found scattered across the island. By comparison, a full suit of the pre-war assault marine armor, if we don't count the helmet, grants 140 ballistic damage resistance, 139 energy damage resistance, and 50 radiation resistance. Thankfully, however, the Zealot's marine armor can be upgraded at any armor workbench to the Inquisitor's marine armor. It looks the same, but the stats become almost as good as the pre-war assault marine armor. A fully upgraded suit of Inquisitor's marine armor has 139 ballistic damage resistance, but 140 energy damage resistance, with the same radiation resistance. So really, when choosing between the Inquisitors and the pre-war assault, it's a matter of whether you want to swap that extra point between ballistic or energy. Note that all of this marine armor is really heavy. Interestingly, a full suit of the Zealot's marine armor is almost half the weight of a full suit of either pre-war assault or Inquisitors. However, we can modify the marine armor with many of the same armor mods we're used to from the Commonwealth, including the ultralight armor modification. Brother Kane has a tool case on his desk, and we find another unlocked safe beneath the desk, full of all sorts of goodies. After looting a duffel bag behind his desk, we can turn to the left to find a small nook with a power armor station. So I guess the children aren't opposed to power armor at all. Here we find a footlocker on the ground and 4 beds in this space, one with a footlocker and one that isn't owned. We can use this as our own bed if we want. On a side table next to this bed, we find a note. Taste test. I appreciate you being understanding about it, sister. As much as I'd like to help you here, I'm not really in contact with my family in the Commonwealth anymore. But there's really no way these power noodles you're asking after can hold a candle to my recipe. So next time you're feeling homesick, come down and we'll do a taste test. So, Sister Mai can whip up a batch of pasta. Sadly, we can't talk with her about this after reading the note. Guess we'll never taste that irradiated Children of Adam pasta. With this top level explored, we can go to the back staircase. We could go back down or continue up. This staircase brings us up above the shops, overlooking the entire bay, and at the top, we find a child of Adam guarding a doorway.
Caution, sister.
Thank you.
Last child who tried to claim the secrets within roused the guardians of the base. So unless you've been tasked by the High Confessor, I'd steer clear of the command center.
Secrets? What secrets?
We do not know. The High Confessor believes the key to eliminating Far Harbor is locked away in there. So you can understand why the children would be eager to claim it. But one of the recent aspirants appears to have tripped the old security system. Now, only the brave, blessed, or mad enter.
I can take care of myself.
Life is yours to gamble, sister. Adam, watch over you.
Don't fear, sister. Adam will shield me.
I expect our fallen brethren thought the same. But if you wish to put your fate in Adam's hands, I will not stop you. May he watch over you.
So, this doorway leads to the command center, where we'll find Dima's memories. Before heading this way, we should probably talk with Tectus to make sure we've got permission. Would hate to step on his toes. Plus, there was that other floating shack we haven't explored yet. Taking the staircase all the way down, we can now go across the northern bridge, which leads to this other series of floating shacks. Here we find a child of Adam kneeling before a bench shrine. There's a toolbox here and a human skeleton. The children don't seem to mind human remains all that much. Opposite this, we find an ammo canister on the ground next to a cooking station that we can use to whip up some of Ware's brew. There's a platform overlooking the bay next to the cooking station where people can listen to Tectus's sermons. Then turning around, we find another mattress we can use here to sleep if we want. North of this is another viewing platform next to a desk with a suitcase beneath it. And opposite this is a couple more cabinets with more scrap we can loot. Here, we see a staircase going up to the shacks above us and a staircase going down. This just leads to the bottom level, where Zealot Ware stands at the ready. So we'll take the staircase up. Before heading up, we see a child of Adam eating noodles. Oh, they can't be Takahashi's, they must be Sister Mai's. Sadly, she won't share with us. Heading upstairs to this final level, we arrive in the middle of this floor. We'll explore south for now. Here we find a large room with a number of viewing platforms, a myriad of containers to loot, and children of Adam either guarding or engaged in prayer. At the very southern end of this floor, we find Brother Devin.
Brother Devin?
Adam spoke to me.
So this is Brother Devin's room, and it appears that our trick has reignited Brother Devin's faith. He's got a wooden crate here that we can loot, some boxed foods and a Nuka-Cola cherry in a cabinet. He's too busy to notice us taking it. And after looting a toolbox at the foot of his bed, we notice a piece of paper peeking out from underneath his mattress. Brother Devin's diary. I'm in. They let me in. It's been weeks since I slept in a bed, since I had a hot meal, since Dad said he didn't have a son anymore. That jet killed his boy. But these people, they're not bad like everyone says they are. They said I'm special, that the stuff I saw at the spring, it was a vision, that Adam chose me. So I'm not gonna mess this up, not again, because these people, they're my family now. Poor Brother Devin. His jet addiction lost him his family. His father straight up abandoned him. He came here out of desperation. They said he was special. We can see now why Zealot Ware pitied the poor man. He's not a fanatic. He just wanted a family. With the southern end explored, we can move to the northern end. We find a little nook to the right with another shrine with more boxed foods, a Nuka-Cola Quantum, and a box of ammunition. Then turning north, we find a table with a glowing blood pack and a stim pack, a child of Adam engaged in prayer. We can sneak by to loot that cabinet. Thank you. Oh, and there's a note lying on the underside of this turned over chair. All right, move, guy. I gotta get past. There we go. Put it from your mind. You would do well to remember you live among the blessed children of the Nucleus now, child. The ways of your former family have no sway here. Are you truly so eager to abandon what Adam has given us? To skirt your responsibility to him and this land he has claimed for you? Division will still be ours. We simply must be patient in its pursuit. So put from your mind the vessel's holy bombs for now. Instead, focus on the gifts Adam has provided, and consider ways you can show him your gratitude. Tectus. Well, Tectus is certainly an attentive High Confessor, giving personal notes of guidance to his children like this. Turning around, we find a path that leads to the very end of this catwalk, and here we find Grand Zealot Richter. We recall that he asked us to check in with him because he has a task for us, a task that sadly we have no time to accept. And so we'll be back to complete Grand Zealot Richter's task in my next episode. I publish new Fallout videos each and every week on my channel, so if you don't want to miss that episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every lore video and live stream that I publish. I've got a brand new shirt in the shop. Glory to Atom! If you agree with High Confessor Tectus that the citizens of Far Harbor need to be burned for their blasphemy, then you can find this design on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes and in a wide array of colors. You can find it on other products as well, like smartphone cases, both Apple and Android, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members and Patreon patrons are becoming increasingly important as YouTube continues to make platform changes that make the future of monetization uncertain. So to all my YouTube members and Patreon patrons, you have my sincerest thanks. You make these videos possible. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more brand new videos.